Okay.
I don't know if we recorded the other live session. I don't know if we recorded the other live session.
There we go. You're echoing back. It must be live. Anybody streaming?
Someone's watching.
Must be us.
Oh, Brandy's here.
Wonderful. All right, I'm going to pull this up and mute that so that I can see the chat room until we get started. And then, of course, I won't see the chat room. All right, Juliet, Brandy, Crystal, Denise, The Cosmic Truth, Megan, Gail. Hi, you guys.
Oh, wait, am I on the...
You're even here.
Huh. My other YouTube channel name is coming up. That is so weird. Huh? Too late to fix it now.
So, yeah. Hello from New Hampshire. All right. I like that. It's fun when you guys tell us where you're from. Montreal. Woohoo. All right. So we're just being quiet. We should actually talk, Jason.
Yeah. What you want to say? I'm asking everybody, how are they doing?
You realize you can just do that on the video because you're live.
That's right. In case they're reading.
So, yeah, oh, look at that. Mexico, San Diego, Ohio, Florida, Spokane. You guys are awesome. California. That's pretty cool. They're everywhere. Everybody from everywhere. It'll be fun to see what Daniel picks up with the audience being live, if that's any different. Hi, Barb, Natalie, Carrie, Kelly, Corey. Okay, I'm remembering everybody there. Getting
San Diego, Ohio, oh, Montreal. That's where Karen wants to go.
All right. There you go.
Does anybody have any questions ready?
Oh.
Any topics?
North Carolina.
Oh, I'm planning a visit to North Carolina.
You're just traveling all over. Montreal, North Carolina. Where else? All right, we've got a few Canadians on here.
Bahamas.
The Bahamas would be good. Brandy, quit asking about Q. You know I hate political questions. Shame on you. I can hear her laughing from here. So, yeah.
I don't think I ever asked you that question before.
Q? The Q question? I don't really follow any of that, so I could be curious to find out what the channel
Well, that's good. It'd be interesting to see what you say.
Yeah.
But I know it's come up in QHHT sessions, so, but I don't want to spoil it for anybody.
Good. You might have more answers than Daniel does. But we'll see what Daniel says. So Q is somebody that gives information through social media, right? Or is there more to it than that?
Well, it's a board. It's a web page, a board, you know, HN, I think. Or one of the boards.
Well, I'm going to tell you this. You'll probably use my references to what this is. Then you're going to have to ask a more direct question than what can you tell us about Q? Because the smart ass in me and the smart ass in Daniel is going to tell you it's a letter in the alphabet.
This could be true.
Snowy Colorado. What? It's not snowing right now, is it? Snowy Colorado? What to do when feeling impatient? That's a good question. Okay. That's good. So how long do we want to wait before we bring in?
10 minutes. So 7:10, okay. My time.
Perfect. Perfectness. All right, go get all your friends and family, get them in here. This is the chance you guys all have been waiting for. put your questions in the chat. Jason will filter through those and ask them, and we'll see what comes out. So, yeah, how was your day? You said you had to go to work.
Yeah, it was good. Not too bad.
Got my hair done. Thank
We
you.
went to my friend's fishing camp over the weekend, so I was a little tired today.
Yeah,
A
3
little
days.
whooped.
I worked yesterday. And then I was like, oh, it's a weekend. Okay. Or it's a holiday. So yeah, I missed the boat on marking that off for myself. My boss makes me work all the time. Anyway.
And who's your boss? Is it Daniel?
Oh, no, I'm my own boss. Daniel might boss me around, but okay, can you help giving us a message about the sorry, I'm reading the question here.
From Claudia?
Yeah. So without knowing the situation of the family, I'm not sure how that can be answered. So maybe I should just kind of go into what is it like to channel Daniel. Daniel is not like God. It's not a all-knowing being that knows your situation. Daniel is a being, an energy that is an, how would I even say that? Daniel is an aspect of me that is in another incarnation in the Arcturian Council. That's how I can connect with him. And so without knowing specifically what the situation is that you're asking about, that would be really hard to tune in. So
Kind of probably need more details.
Yeah, a little bit more
being personal.
Yeah. So
now you mentioned Daniel. Were you Daniel in a past life, or in another life you're Daniel?
no, I'm Daniel right now.
Okay.
So we can be in multiple lifetimes all at the same time. So if you think about your soul as this big energy and you are just one little aspect of that energy playing out Jason, another aspect of you could be playing out another life somewhere else. So that would be what Daniel is, another aspect of my soul playing out a life as an Arcturian. At least that's how they explained it to me. Tomorrow that could all be different because you know it changes all the time. But it's that's my understanding of why I can connect with Daniel the way I do, and that there are other incarnations as well that could play the same way that I connect with at another time. But that's kind of, so it's not like I'm tapping into universal information and you could just tell me, you know, just say, tell me about my marriage. If it's not more of a direct question, it's not like Daniel knows exactly what you're talking about. So, and again, just for the audience to recap on this, they use my filters when they come through me. They have to use my filters, my information. So I just tell people take everything with discernment. If it doesn't resonate, then you know that's you gotta work with that, because they have to work with my vocabulary, they have to work with my knowledge. And so the only thing they asked me not to do was watch other channels and conspiracy political things so that I wouldn't be influenced by it. But you know, as far as when being asked certain questions, if I don't have a knowledge of what that is, then they're not going to be able to answer that through me. So when you say Q, I don't really follow Q. So that is going to be interesting. Maybe they'll bring something through. Maybe it'll be hard because I don't follow it. So I don't know what it is, because then I create a block with that myself.
Okay. We'll still run with it, see what happens, you know?
Definitely. Oh, I do like that. See, these are the questions I like, Megan, where you say, am I on the correct path in my ascension? Will I ascend? Those are kind of fun to get into, stuff like that.
There was one about Pleiadians and Arcturians.
Yeah, you're going to have fun.
Is there a difference between the help from an Arcturian or from a Pleiadian?
That's good. And Lucy's asking, do I have Pleiadians in my council? I'm assuming that's directed at me. Yes, I do. They were one of the first ones that came through. I just didn't know who they were. That was, gosh, that was probably 8 or 9 years ago. I just didn't realize that's who I was talking to. I had this blonde man and this blonde woman that would come in, and when I was learning the Reiki, they kept coming in and communicating with me, and I didn't know who they were, so I just gave them names. And now in hindsight, I realized that they were Pleiadians. And so, yes, I have Pleiadians that come in and work with me as well. I think this is going to be one of those videos that'll be interesting to watch as we both pause to read all the questions. So you're going to have keeping up with the questions when I get into the channeling. And it's 11 after. Should I go head into that?
Well, we're talking about California, and here's someone saying, sending love from smoky, hot California.
Oh, yeah.
We were just talking about that earlier.
Let's just love those fires all the way to put them out. Yeah, so we're getting a lot of fires over here in Oregon as well. Is what Jason and I were talking about right before we started. Lots of smoke. There's a lot of wind going on here. If you guys lose me, it's because the wind has been glitching the internet. So I'm just gonna put out there that these guys are watching over the internet so that we have a good connection through the whole thing. So yeah. Yeah, let's set that intention for fog and rain. Yeah, Kelly, you got it. Okay. All right, I think I'm gonna go get Daniel. You got several questions on the board, so I think we have a place to start, right? So, all right, you guys, I'll see you on the other side. Well, this is fun to get to speak to you directly like this, Jason, with a live audience, and waiting for information, waiting for something spectacular to happen tonight. And we hope that that will be the case. And if you don't mind, we would like to scan the audience and just see what it is the energy of this collective could benefit by today. Would that be okay?
Yes, that is fine.
Well, we would like to say that there are lots of people with red energy around them, and that is passion. That is love. That is a shift in energy. There is a shift in energy going on with the collective, with the group of people that will be watching this video, not just the ones doing it live, but the ones that are doing it later. It is almost like a flame itself. It is the orange, and it is the red, and it is a swirl, and it is a beautiful energy of lots of excitement. Something new is in the air. Something new is coming. Something. And that is what we see in the future, not far off in the future. Even within the few days, you may be experiencing something new coming into your life, something new sprouting from what has been happening, the seeds that have been planted. You have had more time to think, more time to contemplate, more time to create. And so with that energy that you have been putting into this, you are planting those seeds, and those seeds are starting to grow, and you are making beautiful decisions around these new ideas, these new thoughts. And so as a collective, you are all experiencing a little bit of your own reality shifting. And with that reality shift, you are making an even bigger shift planetary wise, as each and every one of you are believing for something most spectacular, something like a miracle, something like a blessing coming into your lives. And we say to you, keep believing for it, keep believing for it. Even when it does not look like it's happening, believe even stronger then, because one of the things that is fun to think about is when things are going really well behind the scenes, sometimes it pushes everything else up to the surface so it can clear away, so that the energy can be cleared away, so that that thing that is going on behind the scenes can surface up. And so what we are saying is, let's say you are hoping for a new vehicle, a new home, a new job, whatever it might be, something new, even a new relationship, and it just looks like nothing is working, nothing is working. All of your old business is up in your face, isn't it? And what is happening is there's so much going on behind the scenes, so much going on that you cannot see, but it is surfacing everything within you that is no longer resonating with that frequency of the desire. It is pushing it up in your face so you can clear it out. And when you clear it out, then it opens up the doors for that desire to come in. And so pay close attention to how it is you are feeling. Pay close attention to the hurt, the anger, the sadness, the frustration, the feeling stuck, whatever it is, be with it. Because once you can move that energy, then that opens all the doors. It even opens the windows so that all of the newness can flow in. And many of you are in this situation where this is a very good message for you right now. This is something that is very important for you to hear, something for you to know, something that puts your mind at ease. Look at how you've been feeling. What is it you've been working for? Keep moving towards that. You are creating it. You are creating it, and it is going to be magnificent when you arrive, and it'll be everything you ever thought it would be, and maybe even more. And so we thank you for being here tonight. Thank you for joining us in this live segment. And for those of you who are watching later, we thank you and welcome you in as well, as it is all the energy is present for us right now, because we are not bound by this time that you are in. And so we are very present with every one of you that are watching right now. But for those of you who are hearing this in that live time frame for the Earth realm, we are very excited to be here and present with you. And Jason, what is the first question that you would like to ask?
Well, this question was asked a couple of times, Daniel, so it got pushed up to the top, but it deals with QAnon. What information can you share about the QAnon collective?
Well, you must already know that the QAnon collective is not all human, is it? And we know a lot of you are already suspecting that, but a lot of the QAnon collective, a lot of the ones that where the information is coming from, there are many that are tapped in. Now, that does not mean that they know that they are tapped in, just like Tracie brings messages through here. They're getting their messages. They are getting the nudges to know where to go, what to look for, how to find it. And they're getting their inside scoops. So we say to you that it is very important that this Q has been part of your experience in this time, in this place in your world where you are going through so much transition, so much shift, so much change, because people needed hope. People needed to know something else is going on. People needed to know, and it is starting to spark interest in it. You have the ones who absolutely follow religiously, and those who follow a little bit, and those who don't follow at all. And yet the information is there. It is there for you to grab hold of. It is made accessible for you. And even those who can translate some of the codes of Q have been placed in your reality, hasn't it? And so if you were to want to seek the information, it is findable. And so it is very important that Q is part of your experience right now, because we want for people to be awake. We want for people to understand. We want for people to know there's more going on than what meets the eye. We want people to know that this has been going on for quite a while in their reality. And for many, many years, there has been things going on that have been hidden from the people, the collective. And so the Q is there to help assist and to help bring that to light. And for some, it is very apparent that there is information coming from sources that may be off planet, as you might say. There is, and we know, we have talked about this with you before, there are those who have done the time traveling, who have seen what has been in the past and what is in the future, and they are working also with this collective, with this information source. And so you have many different layers to this information that comes through what is referred to as Q. Does that help?
Yes, it does.
Yeah,
All
I did not know any of that, she says.
right. Is that what Tracie is saying?
That is what she is saying. She's like, oh, interesting.
Yeah, Tracie didn't have much to share in the beginning, so, but it was great information. All right. You ready for the next question?
We are ready for the next question. We would love
All
to.
right. Next question. Someone wants to know what to do when they're feeling impatient. What is some advice?
First, we want you to just listen as we speak over you with this impatience. Asimi ishukutufama. And oshokuyutuma aito shebe wantashima antatema ai. We see and feel the energy running through the spine on you, the one that is being impatient, the one that is being awakened fully. Sepehuhun shikin yato somo, shekwan that the beshe kotuntumi o show oi ba kayantatama. Some of what you are feeling is the energy of the planet. It is moving through you quite quickly. You are very empathic and you can feel the energy as it moves through. It is almost like it is anxiety. It is almost like there is something stirring inside of you. And what we say that is you are experiencing on many levels the frequencies of the planet, and where your body has not quite acclimated to those frequencies just yet, you are feeling a little bit of that angst, a little bit of that impatience. You want to be further along than you are. You want to be somewhere other than what you are. And so when the impatience comes in, it is just you having that higher knowing of where something is going, whether it's your own awakening or a situation in a relationship or whatever it is that is personal to you. And this goes for anyone listening. You are feeling the energy move through the body of wanting that to be in a different place than it is, but the frequencies within your vibration are going through a structural change. Your DNA is moving into a different place. Your cells are having to vibrate in a different manner in order to create the frequencies that are the energetic match to that which you are trying to achieve. So when you are moving forward, or when you are looking for something to happen, or when you are waiting on something and you feel like that impatience is coming in or that anxiety is coming in, it is time to breathe. It is time to anchor in. It is time to bring in an umbrella of colors. Bring in the first color that comes to mind and feel it move through the body. Feel it shower you and embrace you and bring in calm, peace. You are very much in control of your own ability to turn that up or turn it down. So maybe in your mind, you see a little dial and you move it to low and you can feel that calm you down. The one who is asking the question, can we put it back out to this one? Are you an artist? Because we feel like there is something you need to be doing, something that needs to be happening for you to channel that energy through. So the first thing that came to us is that doing some art, whatever it is that you like to do, whether it's with your hands, with your voice, with whatever means that you express yourself. Find a way to express yourself and move that energy. Your energy is not flowing. It gets stuck right about the power chakra and the chakra systems. It gets stuck there and it kind of bounces around, and you're feeling a little bit maybe powerless or out of control if you cannot get to the thing you want. That's why you have the impatience. So it's about moving that energy out of that power chakra, clearing that energy out. There are many of you that are listening that need to work on the lower three chakras, feeling supported, feeling loved, feeling rooted, balanced, feeling empowered. It is time to start working on yourself. You cannot be outside of yourself right now. And that goes to a large collection of people that are listening. You know, if I'm talking to you, it is not the time to be outside of yourself. If you are running into roadblocks, it is time to go inside. It is time to look and see where that energy is no longer moving inside of you. And can we do a little exercise with everyone today? Would that be okay, Jason?
Sure.
Okay. We want each and every one of you to think of something you desire. Think of something that you want, something that you are working towards. And then think about the space that you are sitting in. So like with Jason, we would ask Jason, where in the room would you place that desire that you are working towards? Where would that be in the room that you are sitting in? And we would like you to answer that if you could.
Would this be energy? Like, where would this energy be?
Yes, where would the energy of this desire be in the room if it was in the room with you?
I guess in front of me.
Mm. And so we like how you guess, but yes, so he puts it somewhere in the room. You see, he puts it in front of him. But if you're feeling blocked, then you may be putting it on off to the right, off to the left, off to behind you, maybe even. And when it's in front of you, Jason, can you reach it? Is it something you can reach, or is it far in front of you?
No, I can reach it.
Mm-hmm. So Jason is in a good place. He has a
There's
goal.
a billboard
It's a billboard right in front of him.
with all my notes.
Wonderful. So as each of you decide, where is this in the room? Where is this desire in association to where I'm sitting at this moment? If it is beside you, if it is behind you, if it is off to the left or the right, and it is not directly in front of you, where would you like it to be? Would you like it to be in front of you? Would you like it to be lining up in your path with you? And if so, then put it in your path. Now, once it's in your path, is there anything between you and this desire? If there is, we need to look at that. And like we asked Jason, can you reach it now? If you still cannot reach it, if it is so far in front of you, you cannot reach it, would you like it to be closer? So we are not telling you what to do with that. We are asking you, where would you like it to be? And it is up to you to figure that out. Get clarity. The universe cannot provide for you if you do not know what you want. And if you are setting roadblocks in your way and sabotaging that with energy and different things, then it's time to own that. It's time to look at it. What is getting in your way? Why can't you have that desire that you see over there? And maybe you have small children. Let's just use that like an excuse, right? So you have small children, so you can't have this thing over here because you've got to raise these children and you've got to be in that energy. And so that desire that sits on the other side of this wall that looks like your children is sitting over there waiting for you. So what happens if you find a solution, you find a way for everything to work, you find a way to maybe find some daycare, or you find a way to maybe the grandparents want to take them for the weekend, which frees you up to go do the thing of desire, whatever it might be. All of a sudden, then that wall moves and the desire gets to come in closer. And when you realize that you have more power than you thought you did in these situations, and you can start to move those objects of desire in front of you instead of off to the far right and off to the far left and anywhere in between. When you start putting them right in front of you and you start asking your helpers, your guides, your counsels to come in and help you create the most delightful scenario around this. How do I make this a win-win for everybody? Oh, all of a sudden Grandpa and Grandma would love to have the children for the weekend. And so if we bring them over there, then we can take this trip to the wine country that was my object of desire. Just getting away and taking a little trip without all the responsibility and all the weighing down of bills and work and everything else. And now we have that break. And how wonderful was that just came out of nowhere, that offer did. And so you see what we mean. When you bring it out to the universe, this is what I desire. I would like this. Then you let go of how it gets to you and you just invite the universe to bring in the highest and best solution to bringing this into your life. Show me the best path to take to get there. Show me the right things to say, the right things to do. And you want a win situation for everyone involved. And so everyone wins. Grandparents get to see grandchildren. Grandchildren get to see grandparents. You get to go have wine in the wine country and sit back and not answer your phone or pay a bill. And it all works out and everybody's happy. So we want you to play with that a little bit. We want you to think about, how can I create my desire and make this a beautiful scenario for everyone involved? And we say to you, get out of your limiting ways and let the universe help you. Tell the universe what you want. I want this, but I don't want it to come at a cost to anyone else. So please help me find the right direction to take so that this can be a win-win situation for everyone involved. And then allow for that flow to happen for you. And hopefully we answered enough of that question about the impatience to bring in that energy to help bring down the impatience. Did we answer that okay?
I think so. I think that was a beautiful response.
Okay, wonderful.
Here's a fun question. What is the difference between Arcturians or the Pleiadians?
The picture in your mind, the we do have different energy signatures. Everyone that is here as a collective in these realms that you are connecting with, these galactic councils, we are all here to help. And we are all here to share a message and to help bring answers if we can to the collective, to help give guidance if we can to the collective. So what is the difference? Well, we look like what one might say an alien with the larger head and the large eyes. A Pleiadian looks more like you, like the human form. We're even going to go to the reptilians. The reptilians can shapeshift and make themselves look like many different things. So different beings out there can do different things. The Nordics look like big giant humans. The Syrians look more like us, is with the ET, what you would consider an ET look, with the more of the oval head and the big eyes, and with colored skin. There are many, many, many different varieties out there, and there are many ways to experience what is going on with the galactic councils. The mantis beings like to come in and work with your telepathy, your third eye, your energy, the frequencies, sensories, and they are kind of like tuning in a tuning fork. You are the tuning fork, and they help you tune that in and create the balance so that you can pick up the energies around you without the energies around you impacting your life in a negative way. So if you are an empath and you need help with that, if you are picking up everybody's energy and you can't separate it from your own, please work with the mantis beings. They would love to help you with that. And just call everything in the highest and best good. And if you don't have a gatekeeper, and if that is something that feels right to you, Tracie always likes to say, assign a gatekeeper. We are her gatekeeper. That is your guide, your angel, whatever you put in place to make sure that only the highest frequencies get through to you. So if you are new to watching, please make sure to check in and see if that resonates with you, to have a gatekeeper. It is up to each individual, but again, use your discernment. And so did we answer that question for you, Jason?
Yes, actually, you probably answered 2 questions in one. But also, if you can share any information, is the Pleiadians and Arcturians doing anything different to help out with the Earth to ascend? Like, is the Pleiadians doing only certain things and the Arcturians are doing another thing? I think that was more the question. If you have anything to share on that.
So what they are showing us is that there is a big ship, many big ships. One in your world, they call them motherships, the big ships that have many collectives on them. You have many collectives within the inner earth as well that are coexisting. Their assignments are many times everyone is mixed together. There are many armies, as one might call them, collectives. We liked collectives as a better word. Armies, in your reference of an army, might refer to violence, and that is not what we are trying to accomplish here. Collectives of mixed groups will come in and have different assignments, just as all of you listening are from different collectives, and you are in your process of waking up to that now. You might all feel like you resonate with certain groups: Orion Council of Light, the Syrians, the Lyran Councils, the Arcturian Councils, the Pleiadian Councils, the Andromedans, and the Mantis beings and whatnot. Everybody's got connections with all of these things, but they may resonate more with one or the other. And what we say to you is that everyone is here working for the same purpose. So if you have the Pleiadians here and they're at ground level working through certain things, there may be also a collective of Arcturians at the ground level working through those same things. Now, again, we say to you, they are in the human form at this time, just like the volunteers that Dolores Cannon speaks of. They have come in from these different collectives to take human form, to live in a human reality so that they could interact at that level. And so where one might think that that you have a lot of the ETs walking around with you, there may be some of that happening, but it is a non-interference. It is an influence. They can create an influence in your life. They can create an influence with what is happening on the planet, but they cannot interfere. And so what you might be experiencing is a lot of these collectives that are coming in that are not taking form in the human body are very limited on what they can do, but they are here to help influence those who came in the human form. This gets very convoluted, doesn't it, Jason? So some of you are resonating with this as you are that volunteer. You are the volunteer collective that we are talking about, or you wouldn't be watching this. So you have come from other planets, other beings. You have been in many different experiences, and you have chosen to come in. And we think we talked about that in the premiere show yesterday, where you talked about coming into the avatars. So you came into these bodies to be able to be in the human experience so that you could influence. And now what's happening is those who are not in the human experience, they are showing up now to activate you so that you remember who you are, why you're here, how to help. And that has been happening for quite some time. But for some of you, that is, it is a new journey. You are just finding your way to these videos. You are just finding your way to this information, to Dolores Cannon, to Convoluted Universe, and to Three Ways of Volunteers, and to other writers who have written the same sort of things, and waking up to these different types of frequencies, to the light language, to the frequency of color, the frequency of sound, the frequency of sacred geometry, the frequency of the light language that you heard just moments ago through Tracie. All of these things are activators within you. They're being lined up in your path to activate you, because you are the Pleiadians you're speaking of. You are the Arcturians that you're speaking of. You are these other species, these other planetary beings that you are speaking of, incarnated into the physical so that you can make a difference on the planet here. And you are no longer bound by the limitations of those who are not in the human form. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Wonderful.
For the next question, this comes from our good friend. He asks, what is an overview of the ET races that are in our galactic community?
We want to understand that question. So could you ask that again?
Sure. He asks for an overview of the ET races that are in our galactic community. So maybe in our solar system?
The ones that are here helping, you mean?
Yes.
But we
I
just
think so.
listed off a whole lot of them.
Yes, you did.
There are many more. We've talked in prior shows about the portal of the sun portal opening up, and many other
Yes, I remember that.
many other collectives are joining us now through the portal. Some of them are cousins, one might say, to the ones that are here. So they are very close in their species as what you are already used to with the Arcturians, the Pleiadians, the Andromedans, the Telos groups, the Nordics, the insectoids, there's so many. We could just keep going on and on and on. If you can think of it, it is here. It is here, and it is helping you, the higher beings, even some of the reptilians, as some of you cringe when we say that, are of high vibration. Not every one of them is out to get you, so to speak, but we do want to say that we wouldn't be having all of this going on if there were not some that were of the lower frequencies that were imprisoning or enslaving humankind. And we all know that that is why we are here, correct? Because there is an injustice going on, and we're all here to collectively help move that out. But some of that is happening because it is a mirror. It is a reflection of where humankind is. And so if we can move that out of the frequencies of humankind into, that is why we keep telling you, go inward, fix what's going on inside. That fixes what's going on outside, because your reality is a reflection of the collective. And If the collective can heal on the inside, then the reality can reflect that. And so we are here. We know you want us to swoop in with our beautiful spaceships and get all the bad guys. But what if we were to tell you there are no bad guys? We just need to change the way you're thinking. We need to change the way everyone is feeling. And when we can move people into that place of love, acceptance, non-judgment, get out of anger, get out of these places, heal the parts of you that are hurting so that they no longer have to be mirrored to you in this way as a collective. Then that is really the biggest part of our job, is to help you heal. And that is why you are experiencing it that way. That is why we're not able to swoop in and just get all the bad guys. Heal what is going on inside of you. Heal the anger, heal the hurt, heal the pain, the disappointments, the ancestral karmic trail, the abuse, all of it. When that can be healed on the individual level, as a collective, you no longer will be witnessing the world that you're seeing. And we hope that that made sense.
Yes, it does. And my question on top of that, it seems like there's a lot of beings helping us. Do we really need all this help? Is this normal?
Well, some of it is just a spectator sport.
Are we that bad?
It is very entertaining, as you have witnessed before with Daniel eating his popcorn, right? It is very entertaining. And they are here to cheer you on, to root you on. Not everybody that is here is helping. And some are just here to cheer on, send energy into the earth, send it to the planet. It is not that every being out there is directly involved with the beings in the experience of this realm. And so that one is kind of a difficult one to answer, but as many people as there are many beings with each individual. So as you could look at your councils, Jason, you could find that you have many councils, and each council could have many players in the councils. And so if each person on this planet had even 5 councils, and each council has anywhere from 5 to 12 council members, that is a large number of helpers per person. You just have to know how to tap into it, how to bring that experience to you to help you do the shift into connecting with them. But so we say, yes, there are quite a few here to help, but they are helping more on an individual basis versus, as we said, a global basis. And it is not to be confused. There are definitely those who fall into the collective that go into the battlefields, as one might say, and they are working with those in the collective arenas that are helping to clear, what do they call it in your political reality, the draining the swamp, clearing out those energies that are creating the injustices in the first place. Because it is hard for humankind to shift how they are thinking and feeling if they are still sequestered under these laws, these rules, these almost demonic ways of holding down humankind. So that must be lifted as well. So there's a lot going on. There are many, many layers.
Yes, it seems to be a lot of layers. Since you brought up fear a little bit, this would be the next question. What is the best way to stay in our power when sucked into fear base?
That is a beautiful question, because we are learning a lot about fear. We are learning a lot about fear through the collective of volunteers who have chosen to be the bridge for us to understand humankind. As we come from a collective mindset and come from a place of peace, it is sometimes hard for us on the outside to understand, why do the humans do what they do? Why are they reacting the way they react? So when one goes into fear, how does one step out of that? One of the things we want to remind all of you, you are much bigger than that fear. You are much bigger than that problem. You are so expansive, so beautiful, so bright, so amazing. You do not need to experience that fear because you are the brightest light. You are so powerful. And so what we want you to do when you feel the fear is we want you to just step out of that. Step out of that as if you are stepping out of your body itself. Rise above it, become expansion itself. Come out into space, into the stars. Look at it from a new perspective. Expand your energy out as big as you can into this world, into this collection of, into the atmosphere, into everything that you know to be real and true. Expand it out bigger than anything you can imagine. And then we want you to get a new perspective. See yourself way above the earth realm, looking back down at it, looking back down at the role you're playing in this lifetime. See how big and expansive you are, and then go back to the problem, that little tiny problem that's right there in that earth realm. And know that you are much bigger than this problem, and know that whatever caused this problem, if there was somebody else involved in this problem, something that brought that fear into you, that came from their place of fear. So the first thing you want to do is if it is a conflict with another, if it is a workplace, if it is whatever it is, send love to the situation, to the person first. That is what they need. They are in fear and they are passing that on to you. They are projecting it onto you. The situation is perpetuating fear within you. So send the situation, send the person love. Source energy, send them into the source energy. Look at them again through a different set of eyes. If it is a person, what brought them to the point that they could do something like this to create fear like that in you? What created that person to go to that level where they wanted to intimidate you, to bully you, to put you in this place? Can we send healing to that? When we can find compassion for each other in the worst of situations, that is when the healing begins. When we can send compassion to each other when we're at war with one another, that is when a healing begins. Something brought them to that place. Something brought you to this place. So send love and healing to all of it so that you can step out of the fear, step into the love, see it from a bigger perspective, see it from a healed place. What happens if this situation heals, this thing that's causing fear? What would it look like if it would look the way you wanted it to? How would you like that outcome to be? How do you create that? You are the creator. How do you create that? If you were in a situation that makes you uncomfortable, that makes you afraid, that makes you upset, what would you rather have? What experience would you rather have? And put your mind on that. And then again, call in your helpers. Help me create this scenario. Come from a place of love. If you were upset with another person, if there's another person that's upsetting you or a situation that is upsetting you, and you come from a place of love, what is the answer when you come from a place of love? Are you reacting out of your ego? Are you reacting because you want to be right? Are you reacting because you are afraid? Well, then what would happen if you reacted from a place of love? What does this situation need? What does this person need? And can I bring that? Can I show that compassion, that love, that forgiveness that they need? Are they in so much pain that they can't see past it, so they project it onto everyone else? Is it so familiar to them that they cannot see beyond it? How can I help? Become of service in this situation and see if it changes. Does that help, Jason?
Yes, it does.
Wonderful.
Perfect. Perfect answer. I'm going to shorten this next question. I don't have the whole question, but I think this was pretty interesting. What items can we take with us to the 5D, and what preparations can we do to get ready for December? Any advice?
What item? Let's break that down. What
Yes,
items can they take to the 5D?
Yes.
What items do you want to take to the 5D? That is interesting. We think that you can create whatever you desire in the 5th dimension. So if there is a material item you are speaking of, then you should be able to create it as you desire in the 5th dimension. Is there anything more specific that we need to answer with that?
That was pretty much the question. What items can we take to the 5D? And
yes, so Jason, you can have your Ferrari in the 5D. You can, if it brings you joy.
Awesome sauce.
Yes. And then what's the other, say the other
What
one.
what preparations can we do to get ready for December? You know, all that December energy
Get
makes
your
things
Christmas
hectic.
together. Yes. Start your Christmas shopping early. What is December? What is it that we're preparing for? Is this the energy of December?
You got Christmas, you got Hanukkah, New Year's,
We, we
winter.
We think that everything you are going through between now and December is going to give you everything you need to get you through December. You are very light, bright, beautiful souls, and you will have everything energetically that you will need to be prepared for what's to come, if that is what the question is. If you are asking about Christmas, we say you better start putting your pennies away, and that way you can get the gifts that you want to get. But we say bag Christmas and just go have fun. Just go enjoy yourselves and do something. Maybe you change your traditions this year.
Perfect. Perfect. All right. Next question from the audience is, what star races are protecting Trump?
All of them.
He needs that many, huh?
What star races are protecting all of the political
That's a
agenda?
good question.
And so why would Trump be different than anyone else? Interesting question. And we know that as we are in Tracie's mind, we understand that there are many in the collective that believe that Trump is part of the councils of light, that are part of the galactic groups that are here to help the transition of this planet. And we say yes, as are you. And just as many star nations are protecting you right now. And you need to know and trust that if you feel it in your heart and your gut to be supportive in that way, and you want to put your energy towards Trump, then follow that. And we don't like to get into that divide of the political belief systems, but we say to you, follow your hearts in that. Follow your hearts. Know that you have the same star systems surrounding you right now. Everyone is being protected. So yes, Trump is being protected. And there are many things playing out that are beyond what we can explain today, partially because we would not be able to move through Tracie's mind to express it or to explain it. It is very convoluted. And that would be the same with any one of you. You are still in that human mind. You are still in that third dimensional reality where some of this is beyond your scope of understanding. And so it is very difficult to bring in those levels, those layers to you. But there are many things going on right now, and there are many things playing out, and there are many realities that are playing out. So you get to choose, which reality do you want to be in? Do you want to be in the one where Trump is president? Do you want to be in the one where Biden is president? Do you want to be in the one where there is no president anymore and the whole world goes to chaos and then reforms? Which one do you want to be in? And so, as we said before, very many layers. You have many choices, and you get to play out what reality is resonating with you. So do you want to ask that question any different, or did we answer it okay?
I think you did pretty good. So, yep. Next question, because we still got a few more minutes left, and probably enough for two more, depending on what happens. Next question will be, this question deals with fur babies, and when they're talking about fur babies, they're talking about their pets. If Tracie can relay that information to you. What are they here to teach us, our pets?
Unconditional love would be number one. Unconditional love from an animal. You could yell at an animal, and 2 minutes later, it'll be curled up in your lap and loving on you and trying to help you heal that part of you that got so hurt and so angry. And it is such a beautiful thing. They are also very much energy workers, as many of you know. The vibration of a purr of a cat will shift your frequencies. The energy of a dog that is curled up by your feet or up in your lap, when they're licking you and all excited to see you, it is all part of a frequency to help you to decompress from your busy days and to move into different energy when you return home after you've been out to work or out to shop or whatever it is that you've been doing. And so your animals are very much little energy workers. They are little balls of light. And for those of you who are very connected to the animals, we want you to pay attention. What is your favorite? We wanted to say brand. Tracie corrected us. What is your favorite animal? Not brand of animal, but cat, dog, bird, whatever it might be. That is an indicator to you as to which planet you are most associated with at this time. So if you are very connected to birds, you may find that you are also very much from a planet where you could fly, where you had wings, where you may have been a part of a bird tribe. And you may associate with that very, very much so. If you have a tank full of fish, you may have come from a water world. If you are very drawn to be by the ocean and swim with the dolphins and do all of those things, you may find that you have some sort of connection to that. And so on and so on. The cats, you have the Lyrans, and you have the dogs, you have, Tracie is not familiar with that group that is the dogs. You see them in the Egyptian carvings, the dog-headed man. And
that Anubis?
Anubis. Thank you, Jason. You may be connected to that. And so pay attention to the animals that you do have, as they are also answers to some of your questions and how you connect to them. It could be that you are using the animal to help you from being homesick, as this animal is a reminder of your home and brings that comfort and that frequency in for you. So is that an answer that you were looking for today?
I like it.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds good to me.
Let's watch out for the snake people. Just kidding. The snake people can have very good personalities as well.
Perfect. All right. One more question. And this is probably a very important question as well. And you talked about it once before about the children, save the children. But this goes more into not what can we do to save the children, but what's going to happen to the individuals that did wrong to the children. That's where the question is going into. I don't want to say any key words to knock off this channel, but that's what the bad ones, the bad people, would they shift, or what's going to happen to them?
What if the bad people were placed into this world to challenge you in the deepest ways to find forgiveness? It is
learn how to forgive.
Learn how to forgive on the deepest level, because that would be a very, very difficult one to forgive.
Wow.
When one is looking for justice in this situation, that is judgment. And it's a very hard conversation and not one that we are wanting to end on. So we will make sure to end on a different note. But if you are holding judgment in any way, shape, or form in this area, we do not blame you, because it is a very difficult thing to see, to experience, to understand, to be informed of. What would it take to find love in your heart for somebody that is so troubled that they would treat a child like that? What would it take to find love in your heart to forgive that person and to pray for them? What would that take? So just as you are looking for justice, and we do say to you that justice happens, karma is a real thing. But what would it take for you to forgive that act? And that is a soul-searching question for you, because we know it is not an easy one, and we felt the heartbeats of everyone listening just stop. And we know that these are very difficult times with very real and scary things happening all around you. And again, we say, how do you respond in love? What did that person need in their life? What made them the way they are? And is there a way we can help? And so that was a very deep question, Jason, and we hope that we can move out of that energy a little bit. But to answer the question, there is, for every action, there is a reaction, or an equal and opposite reaction, right? And so when something damaging has been done, there is a consequence that comes with that. When somebody comes in to play a role like that, that is damaging. Is that going to be damaging to their soul? And does their soul need your love and your prayers and your assistance to undo that damage? And so there's a lot more to it than what meets the eye from the third dimensional reality. And it goes a lot deeper. So we ask each of you to take your own personal journey with that question and discover what your answer will be. Now, that got sobering, didn't it? Do you have another question that might be a little lighter, or shall we just go into a beautiful message at the end of this, whichever way we want it?
We do have one more, and I think this deals with the city, New Jerusalem. Is this like a metaphor for like a ship, or is this a true city, New Jerusalem?
We're not understanding what the city.
I think this comes from our Bible, that a new Jerusalem will be built.
That is a metaphor.
Okay. Does it deal with a spaceship by any chance?
Doesn't everything? In our world it does. In the Arcturian world, we're always looking at the ships. But what we say with that is, even the Earth, the planet you are on, is like a ship, isn't it? And so, yes, that could be like a ship. It could be, there will be some who will experience being on ships in the future. They will be experiencing that. Is that part of what you mean? Or people are going to experience being on spaceships? And we say a lot of you already have, and now you are starting to move into the energy of remembering. How many times do you have dreams where you're on a ship, or where something like that is happening? There are many times where you are having an experience in your awake state where you might be feeling like something's off, something's weird. And what you do not realize is you are on a ship and you are in a simulation, and the simulation, what do we want to call that? The graphics around you simulate that environment which you thought you were in, rather to be the coffee shop, your bedroom, the kitchen, whatever it is that you thought you were in when you were on the ship. They create an environment that looks just like it. And so pay attention to how you feel. When you feel like something is different or off, then you might be experiencing an altered state where you were brought on a ship and you were put in a simulation where you think you are on Earth, but you are not. And so many of you have already experienced a ship. Even in your conscious state, you have experienced a ship. And yet you do not know, because it would be a lot for your mind to put that together. You are evolving, and soon enough you'll be able to be allowed to remember. But right now, that information might be too much for the human mind to really comprehend and wrap itself around and deal with emotionally. It could create what you refer to as the postpartum stress disorder, because there is so much out there in your society and your world about abductions and aliens being bad and different things of that nature, that if you thought you were taken on a ship, it could create a lot of stress on your body and on your mind. And so it is not at this time being allowed to be recalled.
Interesting. I guess in a way the Earth is a spaceship, if that's the case.
Yeah, the Earth could very easily be considered a ship.
Very nice. Did you have any other messages for the collective?
Such beautiful, beautiful hearts, such beautiful beings, all of you. And we do have a message. Let us look and see where we would like to address this message the most. There are a lot of you that are responding to pitches of sound, activation through sound. And we do want to say it is in your best interest, in your maybe the highest collective of good, to allow yourself the open door of the sound to come in, the sounds, the frequencies, the high pitches in the ear, the going out into the world and hearing sounds all around you, being aware of these sounds, sitting in a park and just listening, paying attention to what it is you are hearing. Rather, it's the inner ear, which is like the third eye. You don't actually have an eyeball on your head for the third eye, but you have the inner eye. You also have an inner ear. So listen to what you are hearing. Listen to the sounds, not the words. The words have their own activation, but we are talking about the sounds. And when you can get very quiet and very steady and very balanced within yourself, you will be able to hear the sounds. These are new frequencies coming in. And they are frequencies that you used to not be able to hear, but you have raised your vibration enough now that you are able to use those supersonic antennas of yours and pull in those new waves of energy, those sound frequencies. They are resets for some of the DNA. They are also downloads or programs that are coming in that will help you move into that next level of where you are personally supposed to be. So for each person, that is like a fingerprint. It's like a signature. It is original, and it is the part of that frequency that resonates the best with you to bring you to your next level of your evolution, your ascension. And so if you want to play with that, just go into a quiet place or pay attention to the sounds. You could be walking through the city and you're just paying attention to all the sounds and being very aware and being very present in the moment. And you will start to notice you're getting sounds that you haven't heard before. And when you start to notice that, you'll start to notice that you're shifting in your awareness as well. You're finding yourself being more consciously aware, and that your psychic senses will be heightened at that time. We do want to say a little prayer over the group, a little light language prayer over the group, just to end this on a very nice note. We want everyone to just clear all their energy that is no longer serving them. We want you to cut the cords to the fear-based energy. We want you to move into a place of love in your heart. And we just want you to think about things in your life that you care about, things that you love, things that you are creating, things that you are manifesting. And as you hold that frequency of your manifestations, your love, and what you see for the future in a beautiful way, what would you desire tomorrow to look like? And we're going to pray over you while you hold this frequency within your mind. Ke kamba te eshe wuto ma aina sha tuto ne te pe poe. Suma hai sasama tatia nandata shako te vau shu tu ma. Fiwan da te be a shako on to pu honye. Ala hason te be esha. Ishimo oi. Fu sa samishikun tatapa. I sandu diramondro Sofia tempe. Ushanya tan te be kwata maaita. Husa te me to shebe won to te me wa. Fi samantutum. Si po fuma tan no shebe ke wana. Shikoto to matato shokoto fuma te watimben shibu shiva. Shasama. And as each of you take in a nice deep breath, deep in within the lungs, and then just exhale all those stresses of the day. Allow for this energy to move through you and into the mind, and let it take off with your dreams and start setting that road ahead for you so that you may be the energetic match for all your desires. And so it is, as we all agree. And with that, Jason, we can bring Tracie back for you.
Is it okay I ask one more question?
Do not break the seal. Is it a good question?
I think so. I think so. You might enjoy it. I think you might love answering this question.
We will give it a try.
For our dreams, how can we keep our memory of our dreams and the ability to recall them?
One of the best ways to do that is to start with a notepad beside your bed. And as soon as you wake up, write down everything you can remember. What you are doing is you are training the brain. And that is where the human memories of these dreams, this is what you need to do. You need to train the brain. And this is not new information. You write it down, you write it down, you write it down. And as you wake up, you remember it, you write it down. What you can do with that then is you become a lucid dreamer. You're going to be very aware of your dreams. You're going to be very much connected to your dreams, and you're going to be able to control what you do in your dreams. And then that is when you can start even asking questions at these higher levels, because you are in that dream state. You can go into the dream, you realize you're in the dream, and then you can ask questions, or you can do the things that you want to do in the dreams. That is one of the ways to start remembering. Once you get to that place, then you can start asking, can you take me on a ship? Can you show me where I'm from? And you can start building on that. It is not the easiest thing to do to become a lucid dreamer. So don't be discouraged if you are finding it hard to do. There are books on it out there. There are videos on it out there. We recommend you can go and view more information on the lucid dreaming, but that is how you can start building that memory so that when you do take your journeys, you'll be able to remember them. How is that for an answer?
Perfect. Perfect. Thank you very much for answering that one last question for us.
You are very much welcome. And at this time, we will say our goodbyes to everybody. We thank you all for being here. We enjoyed the live version and having all that extra energy being sent our way. Thank you so very much. And we're going to bring Tracie back in. We will see you next time.
Thank you, Daniel.
Okay.
Welcome back.
Hello, everybody. Yes, that one is starting to get to my throat. What were you guys talking about?
Nothing. We're like, what is she doing over there? No, a lot of great questions came through. So I wrote down as many as I could and as fast as I could. And
it's kind of hard to be the note keeper and the question asker and the following what's being said at the same time. So thank you for doing that.
Yep. I didn't want you to catch me off guard, or right. Daniel catch me off guard. So Jason, what do you think about this? What were we talking about?
Say? Yeah, been there, done that. So very nice. I'm just reading some of these little comments in there. Thank you, you guys. And I love all the emojis. That's awesome. So wonderful. That was good.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. Did you want to go over some of the questions, or did you want to go through the chat and see if anybody had anything from the chat, or
I don't know.
Do you recall anything from the ET races, the galactic community?
Oh my gosh,
what was that like? That was pretty cool. Yeah,
as many stars as there are in the sky, there's probably that many different ships and different things that are collectively gathering to just kind of oversee what's happening. But man, they were showing me, because you were like, do we really need that many people, right? Or that many helpers?
It was interesting.
Yeah, well, if you think about it, when I go into these channels, I'm seeing that I could tap into a lot of different collectives, right? And each one of those collectives has their own group of beings. So really there could be thousands of beings per person.
Oh.
So think about, all the people on the planet. And if they each have access to multiple groups of people or galactic councils, and each of those galactic councils has more than 1 or 2 or 5 or whatever people on them, it literally could get into the thousands per person. So apparently, yes, we need everyone.
I like the question that was asked, what star races are protecting Trump? And you said all of them. It's like, whoa.
Yeah, yeah. I remember you saying, "Does he need that many?" There. Yeah,
I
but
would,
it does feel like he is protected in that sense that we may not all like what he's doing or how he's doing it, but there is a lot going on that we don't see.
yeah. Plus, you kind of need that heroic bully type of guy to go up against some of these bad guys.
Yeah. So very true. It,
And he'll probably open up some doors for someone else that can walk in and won't get bullied around. That's
mhm,
my thought.
very true. Very true indeed. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what unfolds during the next elections. So
Yeah, absolutely.
I know that the astrologers are saying it's quite a mixed bag of astrology going on during the elections. So there's a good chance that we're going to see some chaos.
Wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah.
As they say, let you live in interesting times.
Mhm. Yeah. So
The QAnon collective, that was your buddy was very happy. Brandy was very happy with that one.
you and your questions.
So were you able to see anything on your side with that one, the QAnon collective?
It was interesting. I could see that there was many different uh, avenues of information coming in, and that some of that was very galactic. The time traveler part kind of surprised me, that there was time travelers that were also influencing the information coming in.
Ah, which is interesting. You sure you don't know nothing about this whole QAnon thing?
No.
That's interesting you say that, because some people have some theories deal with that concept,
Oh.
that there's a group that's coming from the future here to help us accelerate sooner than later, because we
Oh.
need to fix a lot of things now than later because we get more advanced. And then you have that theory, and then you have, it was called Project Looking Glass, where they can kind of envision the future of
Yeah.
what's going to happen, and that's been talked about. So
See, I
that's
heard of
interesting, and you had a
class.
little bit more information than what you thought.
I just didn't know that's all connected to the Q thing, but yeah. My version of if you were to ask me what is Q, I would say, I don't know, it's some dude that gets on Twitter and posts weird things about Trump or whatever else political. And that's all that would be my only version of what is Q. So, yeah. Anyway, very
Interesting.
interesting. So I guess, Brandy, it was a good question.
Yes, Brandy. Very nice. glad you asked that question.
Yeah. Yeah, Jason. Jason would like to ask more of those questions.
Of course, they're fun.
Yeah.
Let's see. The Arcturians and Pleiadians. That was pretty good.
I like what's happening here with Tina saying we should have a live session where Jason teaches us about the things he knows.
Do my own live.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna need backup.
Yeah. Get on there and educate.
I do have to say, like, I like to see things from different avenues, like from a 3D perspective, 4D, 5D, whatever, like QHHT from this group, regular news from this group, and, channeling or books, Dolores Cannon's information. So
Yeah.
I like to see all of it, and I like to see the comparison, like what is being connected. And I think that's fascinating, because to see it from a totally different point of view, that's, let's say, a regular 3D YouTuber that doesn't believe in none of this, but he'll say certain things, and I'm like, well, wait a minute, that's being talked about in this metaphysical community, or the conspiracy realm. They're talking about certain things, And then you hear something very similar in, the metaphysical community. And I'm like, wait a minute, they're using a lot of similar terms. So,
yeah.
Like dark to light, and you're like, wait a minute, that was on one of the boards, that phrase. So it's interesting.
Yes, there's more going on than we realize.
That has been said many times.
Yeah, I can only imagine the layers that this whole thing must be taking. Yeah. So
plus all the Atlantis stuff, my
looks like
favorite topic.
That was quite busy here. You guys were very chatty. Nice. Boy, Jason, how did you keep up with any of that? I'm sitting here scrolling through it, and it's like, whoa, there's a lot of chat going on here. So that's pretty fun. I like that. Good. We got you guys talking and thinking.
You're like, whoa.
Yes. That's how my head feels right now. A little bit whoa. So.
Oh yeah. Did you come back to reality yet?
Not yet. So yeah, when we're done here, that'll probably be called comfort food, couch, and Netflix. I don't know. So.
Wish I could say the same.
Yeah, you got work to do. At least you don't have to edit this one, right?
That's right. No editing is necessary.
Yep. So wonderful. All right. Oh, Carmel, who got here late.
Oh, Charmel.
How can we sleep?
This is a question for the audience. Should we do this more often, once a month? What are y'all thinking?
That'd be a good question. We want to see those answers. We want everybody that feels pulled to answer that to jump in here and answer, even if you're watching it after the live show.
Oh, like comment below.
Yeah. Yes, please. Once a month would be great.
Yeah. Oh, we got to do it for Australia.
Yes, please. Yes. Yeah, we're doing it for Chris. Chris, were you keeping track of the time so you could stamp this one for us?
I wonder how he does that.
You have to do it all over again. Watch this all over again just to time stamp it. And then, hey, Chris, just FYI, my recording I'm doing on my end, and I'm going to post it from there. So it's going to be different time frames than the one you're doing right now with Jason.
Oh, yeah. It might be off by a little bit.
Yeah. So you're going to have to do a lot more work. We're just kidding, because Jason does this out of the kindness of, Chris does this out of the kindness of his heart, and we want to thank him so much. He timestamps everything that we do, and I don't know how we got so lucky, to tell you the truth. He is an amazing, amazing person. So all my gratitude and thanks to Chris. He's saying he'll see what he can do. So
whenever I go to Australia, I have to meet him.
Yes, I think we should just make a trip to Australia happen. We'll go there, see all of our Aussie friends, and do something live over there, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's an ECETI in Australia.
I know. I heard. I think they're working on it, right?
No, he's got it.
Okay.
There's one over there. Now I'm blanking the guy's name, and I feel really bad about that.
Peter Maxwell?
Peter Maxwell, yes.
Yeah.
Way to go. Way to be on that. So, oh, you guys are giving Chris the love. I thank you for that. He deserves it.
Yes, he deserves it. He deserves a shout out. Absolutely. Very impressive. Yeah. And I think he has a YouTube channel too as well. And I think he has music on there. So check it out.
Yeah. Nice. Very nice. Ah, thank you, Brandy. Yes, Peter Maxwell how do you say that? Slattery?
Slattery.
You guys are all on it. See? We all need to go, don't we? Yes. I'm loving that. We're just chatting with the group, and if you're watching this later, you don't know what we're talking about, but they're all in the chat saying ECETI Australia. And so, yeah, we'll have to make that a thing. We'll put that on our to-do list once the coronavirus. Australia is in extreme lockdown with the coronavirus. There is no getting in there right now. But when that all gets lifted and maybe we can plan something like that. That would be fun. So, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, everybody said yes to at least once a month. So,
Are we there yet? I love it. Yes, Jim, let's get there.
so we have to come up with a game plan.
We do. We do need a game plan once a month. Okay. No pressure.
Oh, love from Portland. Which Portland? Evidently, there's 4 of them.
Oh, is that Oregon, Gina? Trying to think if I know Gina. It's hard to tell when they have those little tiny circle profile pictures. So, yeah. Love to Portland. Ah, thank you. And yeah, Portland, Oregon. Yay!
It's your neck of the woods.
Hey, be careful. Don't breathe in too much of the smoke out here. So
Somebody's having a massive barbecue.
yeah, they're using a lot of our trees to do it. So. But yeah, this is kind of fun just sitting here watching everybody chat. Just keep up with the chats.
Surprised you're not getting any tough questions.
No, you guys are being really good to me and I appreciate that. It'll encourage me to do it again. Yeah, don't ask anything too tough. You guys did ask tough questions today though. That
It was a lot of good questions.
yeah. The one
It was different ranges, a different range of questions.
How did we all like that answer? When what happens to the bad people that do
Yeah, that was interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of had an idea it would be something like that, you know, from some of the other sessions.
In the past, yeah. I guess it didn't surprise me.
But I think a lot of people needed to hear that too. So.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of hard to get your mind in that place when bad things are happening. So it's, yeah. Yeah. Oh, okay. So yeah, Chris is talking about the lockdown is an Australian. Boxing them in, keep them safe. New Zealand's doing the same thing. I haven't heard a lot from other areas. So if you guys want to share what's happening for you in your Corona experience. Cool.
Well, for me, we're opening up more and more. Just things to get more relaxed. You know, people walk into a grocery store, Home Depot, no mask. You know, you go to
That's good.
Orange Beach, other places, no mask. Restaurant in I think this was Bay St. Louis. Like nobody had a mask on, even though that's Mississippi. They do their own thing. So, but it's getting more relaxed. It's getting better.
I was seeing something on the social media where people were trying to form a big pushback on the mask wearing. You know, don't wear your mask day, whatever. That's yeah, I'm getting to the point where I'm like, oh yeah, because I can't even to breathe in those. It's just, and then you hear all the medical feedback on it, and it's like, you know, there's certain medical professionals that are saying, what are we doing? You know, that's like the worst thing you can do. You end up touching your face a whole bunch, and you know, and then you know you're going out into whatever, the grocery store, wherever you go. And you're exposing your clothes, your skin, everything to whatever's around you. So even if you wear a mask, you go home, you're touching your face to get the mask off. You've probably got whatever all over your hands, your clothes. You know, you're still very much exposed to it. You go home, you take the mask off. If it's something that's, you know, if the virus got on your clothes at all, for whatever reason it would. But, you know, so it's kind of hard when you're hearing all that feedback and it's like, well, what do you do? But I guess my best advice is do what makes you feel safe, because that's what their original message was. Do what makes you feel safe, because that's the frequency they want.
Right. If you feel like you need it, you need it.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's a psycho. Okay. Yeah. Oh, that's nice. West Virginia is pretty well open. That's cool. We're all going to Virginia. Yeah. So out here in Oregon, it's well, I don't go out much, I'll say that. But I was out and about today and kind of forget to wear my mask. And it seemed, you know, I was getting my hair done. I had my little mask handy, and another gal comes walking in. She didn't have a mask on, didn't think anything of it. She got sat down. They worked on her, and nobody said anything. I don't know. There wasn't hardly anybody in there, so that was probably part of it. But the gal doing the hair had a mask on, so I don't know what the rules are right now, like what they're enforcing, what they're not. But I'm guessing nothing's really changed. It's just like you said, people are just getting worn out by it. So yeah, getting a little bit more relaxed. But yeah, so we'll just keep moving forward, and yeah.
I think relax and a better understanding of what's going on. And then, you know, they probably know someone that had it, recovered, bounced back from it, you know.
Yeah.
So, plus it's tough. I would have to say it is tough to keep a nation or a community to do a certain thing, you know.
Yeah.
Because people like their freedoms of what they're used to, you know.
Well, we're hitting record temperatures. I don't know if you've seen some of that, but
105, I heard.
There was, how much? What did you get up to?
One of your days was 105 degrees.
Oh, I mean across the board. I've heard of temperatures getting up to like 120.
Oh, like Nevada?
Yeah, that could have been Nevada or Arizona, or I know that California got up to be like 115 the other day, and they were showing Labor Day weekend. Everyone was at the beach because they're all trying to cool off, you know, and it's just, yeah. So, you know, again, you know, how many of those people are sitting on the beach or out playing in the water have a mask on? So, you know, I think everybody's like, okay, I'm either gonna die from wearing this mask and suffocating myself in my own carbon monoxide, or I'm gonna go and take a risk. So I don't know. Hitting our limits, hitting our boundaries with that. Maybe.
With that being said, when it's hot outside and you have to wear that mask, that's tough.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have a lot of humidity, so that's another thing. You know, it's not like it's dry and cool outside. It's hot and wet.
Yeah,
that's the last thing you want on you.
That's like bacteria, little lab going on right there in the face masks. So, so okay, 54 degrees in Minnesota. If you are, if you're not in the U.S., I don't know what that is. What that calculation computes to for.
Oh, you're talking about Celsius?
Yes, and my mind is not with me yet, but anyways, 54 degrees. That's kind of chilly.
Yeah, that's cold.
Some degrees out, and then yeah, you're gonna have to put on a jacket to go out in that. So yeah, Minnesota's the place to go cool off if you're suffering from heat. And then Australia, I think you're in your winter, aren't you? Or maybe just coming out of winter going into spring. So yeah, it might be a little cooler over there too.
I didn't know Australia gets to 54 degrees. That's interesting.
Chris is doing the calculations.
Yeah, he's helping us out. Oh, I see what he's doing. He's talking about 54 for that Minnesota. I see what he's doing.
Winter coming into spring. Yep. So wonderful. You guys are so awesome. So I don't know how entertaining part of the show is where we're just talking about comments, but maybe it's time to say our goodbyes to everybody. Wish you guys all a wonderful rest of your day, depending on where you're at in your day. So fun to have you guys all here with us. And yeah, that was good. That was a good show. Thank you, Jason, for providing.
Thank you. Thank you for everything. And thank you for the audience. Thank you for the questions. Very good questions. And if I didn't get to your question, I'm sorry. I tried to write them down as fast as I could. And, you know, we had a time limit to begin with. Yeah. So there's only so many questions to be asked. And then the great thing about Daniel is that when he gives an answer, he gives you an answer.
Yes.
That's the great thing. It's not short and simple. Like which is good. He gives you details.
Yeah. So.
He gives you details. So.
Well, hopefully it was what everybody needed to hear.
Absolutely.
Perfect.
All right. Take care, everybody.
Bye-bye, everyone.